Take my seat? Enjoy getting up every 30 minutes. This is both malicious compliance and petty revenge, so let me know if it fits better over there. Bit of a backstory before we jump in. I've been in India for the last 2 weeks on a course with my university. Just a day before I flew out, I must have eaten something dodgy because I got the infamous Delhi belly, diarrhea. As someone who likes to think ahead, I decided to book aisle seats for all my flights, knowing I'd probably be taking multiple trips to the bathroom. The compliance begins on a 4-hour connecting flight. As I made my way to my seat, I realized an older woman had taken it for herself. I pointed at the number above, but instead of moving to her middle seat, she got up and motioned for me to sit in it. At this point I thought about telling her what the deal was with my colonic calamity, but decided to just let my actions speak for me. As soon as the seat belt sign went off after takeoff, I got up to take the first of many dumps. She had actually fallen asleep at this point, so I had to wake her up so she could get up, grumpily. 20 minutes later I had to go again. A total of 4 shits later and we're still 1.5 hours from landing. She's getting irate. Finally, after my 5th and final defecation, she offers to swap seats. Cherry on the top. I didn't even get up again until we landed. TLDR, rude woman takes my seat, pays the price in poop trips. Edit, to everyone who is saying I was being an asshole. Hell, yeah, I was being an asshole. Why should I have to explain myself because she can't follow the rules? It was clear she knew what she was doing from the beginning. Now to the comments. You weren't going to take that sitting down. OP replied. Neither was she. Not sure about you, but I do dedicate while sitting down. She got caught in the poop loop. OP replied. I like to call it the crap trap. At least it wasn't a shit fit. She got up and motioned for me to sit in it. I am a very polite guy in RL. But nothing will give up my reservation. I would motion her to sit over there. If I can be prepared, others can too, especially if they want certain seats. In India it's common where old people play their age card, pretty common in trains too when it comes getting the lower berth. They can try. Politeness goes 2 ways. It's simple to open your mouth and ask. I stand up for old ones, except they think they are entitled to receive my politeness and don't need to be polite back. Good Lord. I would never have chanced a flight with Delhi belly. When I got it, a funny driver and a bumpy tuttock was all it took for me to shit myself. She was probably being an idiot, but holy shit, old people do not know how to read boarding passes or seat numbers. I once watched these 2 old ladies get up and move seats 3 different times during boarding because they kept getting it wrong. I've noticed something about people. When they get old, they turn back into a child, but maintain the arrogance of a much older person. This cocktail of stupidity and shit attitude makes for some special situations. Man, you are very confident in your ass. I wouldn't have been able to mess around and would have had to handle the situation up front with the lady. So, you would have just pulled your pants down right there and crapped all over her lap. Bold, but I like it. Total power move. You, sir, have my upvote. Who said OP was an asshole? Clearly lady was. I booked that seat equals I want that seat. You want it? Duck you. You book your family all over the place thinking people will accommodate you. Nope. OP's asshole was the asshole. It was totally full of shit. If she stood up and motioned for me to sit, I'd sit in the aisle seat. Like, wow, thanks for saving my seat for me. R/stolen seats. Thank you for making me aware of this. I don't even argue with people who sit in the wrong assigned seat. If they don't move after I kindly point out that they're in the wrong seat, then I say that I can go get the usher. I don't fly, so my experiences have been in movie theaters, and have them help us figure out who sits where. They usually huff and then get up and move over to their correct seat. Probably could have just diarrhea on the floor next to her feet and everyone would have blamed her. OP replied. Sneak attack for 3 times damage. Now that's a lot of damage. Well, that's a shitty situation. The person who told you that you were being an asshole must have taken, and still takes, other people's seats in flight. Also fits in r/asshole tax. Edit, to everyone who is saying I was being an asshole. Hell, yeah, I was being an asshole. Why should I have to explain myself because she can't follow the rules? It was clear she knew what she was doing from the beginning. No, you weren't an asshole at all, she was, and you just did what you had to do. Those who say you were an asshole are just people who also take other people's seat. Don't listen to them. OP replied. Word. When she got up and motioned me to sit in the middle, I would have said that it's my seat. If she insisted, I would have said okay. Then when she let me through, I'd just sit in the aisle seat. Why are people saying you're an ass for doing this? You booked aisle for not only your benefit, but for the good of anyone else in your row. I say well done. I get cranky old ladies taking my aisle seat all the time in Africa and Asia. All depends on how I'm feeling, but man, it ticks me off. I got the same thing in Bangladesh, but I called it the Dhaka Kaka. Am I the asshole for wanting to sit where I paid go sit? No. I've had the shits while flying. It sucked, understatement, actually. It blew chunks. I discovered the problem while waiting on my first flight to arrive. I got way too familiar with the restrooms in 3 airports and 2 planes. The people at the back of the plane were cursing my name midway through. Upvote because of edit. You be you, dude. Just because you were being an asshole doesn't mean it was not justified. OP replied. This guy gets it? I actually like aisle seats. For being able to stand up now and then. Would even trade if not for diarrhea. I found this hilarious because the exact opposite thing happened to me coming home from South Korea, but having had Indian food at the airport. I reserved the window seat for my 11-hour flight home, but a family took the entire row because they wanted to sit together, forcing me to sit in the next row in the aisle seat. Not knowing I had food poisoning yet, I was pretty irritated because I just wanted to lean my head against the window and pass out. But oh well. Turns out that it ended up working out for the better because I was getting up to go to the bathroom at least every hour, maybe more. I'm so glad I didn't need to climb over people. I probably would have just stayed in the bathroom over going back to my seat. You weren't rude. Tell her to get to her ducking seat. If everyone did that, there would be anarchy. Oh, hell no, aisle seats tend to be more expensive than middles. I'd have definitely insisted on being in my ticketed seat, and if she got upset, I'd just ring the flight attendant and say I would like to take my seat, but someone is in it. But decided to just let my actions speak for me. I've read enough 4chan green texts to see where this was going, but I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed your edit. NTA. You paid for the seat. Nah, you weren't an asshole. It's not okay to take over somebody else's seat in India. If I were in your place, I would call the air hostess and get the lady to move. In India, it's never ever okay to take somebody else's seat. I think it's great. Someone tried doing this to me once, also, and when I said no, I want the seat I booked, I was met with dirty looks the whole flight. Wish I could have done something like this. The people who say you're an asshole are the same type of people as the old lady in your story, assholes themselves. This made me chuckle like an idiot in the train. I'm too poor for an award, so take my humble upvote. LMAO, how are people calling you an asshole? If you have to go, you have to go. Some people suffer from Crohn's, IBS, and other conditions that cause them to have to go to the bathroom a lot. Dumb witch needed to follow the rules and she would have been just fine.